This is 23-year-old Daniel Rodriguez. On November 6, 2024, Palm Beach County Sheriff's deputies in Florida arrested a 23-year-old man for attempting to cash a counterfeit check at a TD bank. The dollar amount and the legal framework around this arrest deserve careful examination, because cases like this turn on a single, deceptively simple question. Did he know?
My name's Manny. I'm the store
Manny, how you doing, Manny? Rob.
Good. Nice to meet you. Yeah. So he's trying to cash a fraud check. He's got a black shirt, a hat, and blue jeans on.
Blue jeans on.
Yeah,
Okay.
we called the business owner, and they said that's not their check. It's completely fraudulent, and he's trying to rush us. We stalled him a little bit. And he's like, I really need to go. So
Okay.
that's the situation.
Right. We'll go find out who he is.
Yeah.
And you don't have a name now, right? No.
I have his driver's license and the check in the back.
You do, and his first name was.
I
Was it
forget already.
Arturo? Daniel? Something like that?
Daniel.
Okay.
Yeah, Daniel.
All right. Okay.
Last name Ponce, I think.
Ponce?
Rodriguez Ponce.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll just have him. Is there a room or anything we could step in any place?
You can use my office if you want. You want to use my office? Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect. Yeah.
You might want to put customers just to see, just so we can figure out what's going on. How you doing, sir? Sorry. How you doing? Good. Can I talk to you again? Do you have any? Just your company. You want to check any?
Traffic.
Fancy anything sharp?
Okay, which one? Which can I talk to?
Yeah, I want to talk to you.
But we have to make sure you don't have anything on you before we talk.
Yeah, no, it's
That's all.
Whenever you turn around, just for a second, let me just check you. You need to put your phone down here just for a second. Is this wallet? Okay, just put it down there for a second. Okay. Wait. Yeah. What?
Okay, you're not being arrested. You should
We're gonna do precaution. That's all. But what I do, we're gonna explain. Yeah. Wait. Tell me what I do. I'll tell you in a second, sir. I want to find out what's going on here. Yep, you didn't do anything wrong. But
Why you arrest me? I don't understand.
do you have a check on you right now?
I give them my checks.
There's a call. We have a complaint that the check that you have is an issue right now. Okay?
If they give, I mean, that's not my issue.
Okay.
I'm not doing nothing
Let me just
bad.
check so you got nothing on you.
No,
Just
it's
check.
okay.
Okay.
I'm not a bad person.
Okay. What's your first name?
Daniel, yeah, they say. I don't have nothing on that much.
All right. I'll have you sit down. Nothing in there. We gotta check knives. Okay, Daniel, we'll have you sit down for a second, okay? We'll figure this out, okay?
Can I take this out, please? I
What's
don't
that?
understand what is going on.
Wait 1 second. Okay, it's our safety, that's all. Okay?
I have no weapon.
Okay, Daniel, I'm gonna read this to you first before I talk to you, okay? I want to find out what's going on, but I have to read this to
Me
you.
too.
Okay, let me do this then.
That's why we're gonna read this to you, and
Okay.
then we're gonna talk, okay?
Okay,
Any statements you make used against you in a court of law, do you understand?
okay, yes.
All right, okay.
I just need to know what happened.
Okay, Dan. This check right here, tell me where this check came from.
The guy that paid me, give me the check.
Okay, some guy paid you to get a check?
Yes,
Who is he?
he's a person. I do the work. He give me the check.
Okay, what type of work do you do?
What?
What type of work?
I do construction.
Do you have construction work?
I'm not having a company, but
What's that?
I don't have my company. But I don't know if that was illegal.
Oh, you're an employee?
Yes, he's paying my things.
Okay, what's his name? What's his name? Do you
Carlos give me the name.
Let's give you this check. And this check right here, this is the check you're talking about? Right here?
Yeah, he gave me, because he said,
Oh, that's your name on it, Daniel. It's
yeah, that's me,
okay.
that's me.
Okay, this is Daniel. It's your name. $4,100. Okay.
I don't understand what I do.
Okay, so your friend is Daniel. I mean, you're Daniel, but your friend is
I'm
Carlos,
yes.
right? Okay. All right. This information. And do you have his information at all? Do you have any information on
Do you
Carlos?
have Carlos's phone number?
Sorry?
Do you have Carlos's phone number?
I can
your phone?
I can call Jose, that is my friend. He has
He has Carlos's phone number?
no, I don't have
So-
his phone number.
The problem right now is this check is showing as fake,
No, that's not possible. No, wait.
okay? So we're trying to figure out if they gave you a bad check or if this is a fake check. Okay? So who gave you this check? Carlos gave you the check? Does Carlos work for this company?
I don't know. I do that work. They give me the check. That's
Okay.
it.
The contested element in nearly every uttering case is knowledge. Florida courts have consistently held that the prosecution must prove actual knowledge that the instrument was forged, not merely that the defendant should have known. This standard, articulated in State v. Harris and reinforced through subsequent appellate decisions, sets a meaningful evidentiary bar. However, knowledge may be established through circumstantial evidence under the totality of the circumstances doctrine, and that is precisely how these cases are typically proven at trial. On the constitutional side, the deputy's conduct implicates the Fourth and Fifth Amendments. The initial detention is governed by Terry v. Ohio, the 1968 Supreme Court decision permitting brief investigative detention based on reasonable, articulable suspicion. Here, reasonable suspicion was abundant. The bank had verified the check as fraudulent with the actual account holder before deputies arrived. The protective frisk for weapons fits squarely within the Terry framework. The Miranda question is more nuanced. Under Miranda v. Arizona and its progeny, warnings are required before custodial interrogation. The Supreme Court clarified in Berkemer v. McCarty that not every field detention triggers Miranda, but once the encounter becomes functionally custodial and questioning is designed to elicit incriminating responses, the warnings become mandatory. The abbreviated advisement captured here would benefit from a more complete recitation of all four core rights to insulate any statements from suppression challenges.
You're the owner, correct?
I'm the owner.
And do you also control the accounts and the payable?
Yes. Yes.
Perfect. Okay, so the person that came in today, look at that screen. Let me just get to it. I took a picture of the DL here. His name is Daniel Arturo Rodriguez Ponce. Does that sound familiar at all?
No.
Okay. And you own a home custom building,
Yes.
right? Okay. All right. And the check number that was, where did I write it down? Here?
7284.
7284, right. That we have here for $4,900. That is not your check, correct?
No, my check with that check number is in my possession and it's not written. It's a blank check.
Okay. All right. So it's definitely not your check.
No.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure of that. So, got your information. I'm going to give you a call later when we're done with this case.
Okay.
He will be arrested, and
Great.
I will keep you updated. Okay.
Okay, if it's anything like last time, his partner will be waiting in the parking lot in a car, just so you know.
Yes, and he is gone. Apparently.
He's gone. Oh, that was nice. They're good friends. Okay.
Yeah. It wasn't the same.
Yeah.
It wasn't the same name, though, right? Correct.
No, it was
It
not
was
the
someone
same
else.
name.
It was someone else, right? You said.
Yes,
No.
it was a different name.
Oh. So I'm going to do a quick statement with you to tell me what happened, so I can, verify how the sequence of events. Have it recorded so the tape statement will be done with. And what did he say? And what did he do? Tell me.
He walks in, he goes, I want to cash this check. And I said, do you have an account with us? He goes, yes. So he has a debit card, put it right in the chip and pin to verify. I noticed his account was negative 137.
Okay.
And I look at the check. The check looks so suspicious to me. And I say, oh, you live in Miami. What are you doing around here? He said, oh, I work for them. I do a roof
Oh, for
this company.
the company that's on the check.
Yes.
And it was afters.
Correct. And the business address is in Boca, right?
Right.
So I said, let me verify. And then I noticed on the check, the TD Bank is missing a letter, the K, it was only bank.
You're kidding.
And then I was like, how? So then I called the customer right away to verify the funds.
Okay.
And I look at the system, the database that we have, to see the other checks that have been cashed in the past. It looks like almost the same. But, I've been doing banking for so many years. I know it's a little shady.
How many years would you say?
23 years.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so you're an expert.
Yeah.
Wow.
I called the customer right away. She goes, no, that's a fraud. I never gave that check.
And you talked to the
Yeah.
owner.
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah, I talked to her.
and she said it was a fraud. Okay.
She said.
So, and then that's when you called us.
That's when I told my manager, and my manager called you guys.
Okay. And what time that was about? Do you know what time?
Oh
I think it was
gosh, I don't know. It was around 2 o'clock. I
2 o'clock.
believe.
It's 2:30 now. So
Yeah,
maybe
it's 2
okay.
o'clock.
Okay, it's 47. Okay. Okay, raise your right hand. You swear everything's the truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, I swear.
All right. Okay, no time. Okay, thank you so much.
What's gonna happen with it?
uttering forged documents, grand theft. Yeah. And he, some unknown person gave him a check. He doesn't have a phone number too. And then, unfortunately, it happens a lot. It's not just, yeah. You said that he had 2 other checks. How would that be? Would he come in and spoke with somebody else?
He went to the teller because this is I've been doing this for so long. So for me, if I look at the check, maybe if he gone to somebody else, maybe they don't have experience that I have.
Right.
They will cash it. That's why he was able to cash the check.
So do you think he came earlier?
Probably he went from a different location. That's what they do. They go to different locations and cash it.
Oh, do you know what?
I can take a look because it's pending. Let me see if I can find.
I'm going to give you my card, and you give it to Manny, and then you can call me.
Okay.
Tell me so you don't have to run
Oh,
outside.
perfect.
6
Yeah, because I just saw now that.
Wow. So he's been to a couple banks, probably.
Oh, for sure.
Okay, so he's been running around different banks.
Yeah.
And how much was the other?
I don't know if it's him, but I know 2 checks that's been the same amount.
You're not making any sense. I'm trying to help you.
No, I'm explaining.
Okay.
So, I do a work for him, Carlos.
See, I got
My
that.
friend Jose
Recommended you to Carlos.
recommend me to Carlos.
Does Carlos work for?
No, I don't know. They just give me the check. I don't know if that's illegal. He didn't give me phone number. I was with him in my house, and he told me, "Oh, I need to do something," and I say, "Okay, I go with you." And then in the car, he gave me the check. He leave me here, and he goes to the whatever he's gonna do.
And he's coming back.
He's supposed to be back.
But the car's not good. What type of car does he drive?
It was white BMW.
So he left, and he's supposed to come back.
He says that he's supposed to be here, but now I'm thinking that he's not coming. It's not my fault.
Okay, I'm gonna.
I never do nothing illegal, nothing.
Check number 7284.
Can you please take this off? I'm not doing nothing bad.
No. Whoever dropped you off, whoever gave you that check, needs to come back. If not, I'm gonna look at the camera and I'm gonna go find them. You tell her. So dile a Jose que si él quiere venir, sí puede.
The issue that we have is that this is a counterfeit check.
Yeah, just she told me.
Right. So what's going to happen is you're going to get charged with that for attempting to cash that.
The governing statute is Florida Statutes Section 831.02, titled Uttering Forged Instruments. The statute requires 3 elements proven beyond a reasonable doubt. First, the defendant uttered and published as true a false, forged, or altered instrument. Second, the defendant knew the instrument was forged. Third, the defendant acted with intent to injure or defraud. The offense is a 3rd-degree felony, punishable by up to 5 years in prison and a $5,000 fine. The dollar amount also triggers a separate charge under Florida statutes, Section 812.014, governing theft. Because the attempted withdrawal was $4,900, the conduct falls within 3rd-degree grand theft, which covers property valued at $750 or more, but less than $20,000. Each count carries an independent 5-year maximum, meaning the suspect faces a statutory exposure of up to 10 years.
That's why I told you to see if you can. I told you if you could see if you could get Carlos here.
That's a friend.
Okay. I know you said Jose's coming.
Jose is my.
Jose's coming, but Jose didn't write you this check. Carlos did, right? Exactly. So either Carlos is gonna come back, or you're gonna go to jail. You understand?
I never do something.
Well, I told you if we can get Carlos to come back.
I mean, what happens if you don't come back?
If he doesn't come back, you're going to jail.
I mean, you're getting charged regardless. Is this your stuff?
Yes.
Okay. We're going to go out to my car. Stand up.
No, please.
Yes. No.
Let's go.
Please
Don't
stand up.
fight. Don't
Come,
fight.
I'm not gonna.
We're gonna wait for Jose. We're gonna wait for
Jose.
Jose.
Please, I'm not doing.
We're not doing anything. We're gonna take you out of here so nobody's looking at you. Just stand up. We're gonna go sit in the car.
Did you pat him down already?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doc did.
Okay.
Take his jewelry off.
Yep.
Good. So, can I talk?
Yeah. Yeah, you're gonna talk. Don't worry. And he has a necklace. Yeah.
Can you put this in the car? But wait.
Go ahead, sit down. You can talk to him in the car.
But
Okay?
I don't want to go to jail.
Okay, just relax, sit down. You're fine. You're gonna be fine.
Do you work? No. U.S. citizen or no? No. Where were you born?
Any previous calls for AA?
Colombia? What city?
In this area. White female in her 70s.
We don't think you're a bad person. You just made a bad decision. Very bad decisions.
The grading reflects these legal standards. The deputies earn a B+ for a textbook investigative detention with minor procedural refinements warranted around Miranda completeness. The suspect earns a C- because even his own narrative places him in serious jeopardy under Florida's circumstantial knowledge doctrine. The banker earns an A for the institutional vigilance that prevented the loss and built the evidentiary record. The sheriff's office earns a B+ for transparent footage release. The lessons here are practical and worth internalizing. Never present a check from a person you cannot identify, contact, or verify, regardless of how the transaction is framed. Florida's willful blindness doctrine treats deliberate ignorance as functional knowledge, which means the answer "I didn't know" rarely survives contact with circumstantial evidence. Financial institutions train employees specifically to detect counterfeit instruments, and a single missing letter on a logo is enough to dismantle a fraud scheme. Equally important, the person who cashes the check rarely escapes prosecution simply because someone else printed it. Recruited intermediaries, sometimes called money mules in federal terminology, face the same statutory exposure as the principals who organize the scheme. The legal system does not distribute culpability based on who designed the fraud, it distributes culpability based on who participated in it. Let us know in the comments below if there is an interaction or legal topic that you would like us to discuss. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more legal analysis of police interactions.